Hello, dear friends. We're happy to welcome you again on Latra TV Middle East. Our today's live conversation is going to be about a very interesting topic, Act to Impact. And together with our three amazing guests, we'll explore this topic in further details. So we have our amazing guests from all over the world coming from different backgrounds. Young leader from Portugal, actively involved in at least 7 international youth organizations. Greta Source. Hi, Greta. Hi, Grasa. How are you?
Hello. Thank you. Thank you very much for this invitation, for being part of this webinar. I'm happy to be here today with other guests and the organization Creative Society, and where we will talk about the main challenge that we found in our community, and as well the purpose of being happy and contribute to this our own individual happiness, of course, but also making our community a better place in what we can do according to the best of our possibilities. So thank you very much for this invitation once again, and looking forward to start briefly. Thank you.
Thank you for accepting our invitation. Actually, today is Grasa's father's birthday, right? Happy
Yeah,
birthday to your daddy.
thank you very much.
And we
Thank
have
you.
Birthday to your father, Grata.
Thank you.
law student and prize-winning public speaker from Pakistan, Abdul Khan. Hi, Abdul. How are you?
Hello, Sarah. Thank you so much for considering me eligible enough to be part of your show. And it is very much, I'm very much glad to be part of this show and express my feelings. And it would be a great opportunity to express my thoughts to the international community of different countries. And I'm very much delighted to be interacted and be connected with good, intellectual, and talented people like you. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. And we have also field leader for former Secretary of State for International Development of United Kingdom, Rory Stewart, and Executive Director of Youth Politics Afghanistan, Saddam Hakim. Hello, Mr. Saddam. How are you?
All the participants who have taken time and want to participate and show their emotions and their ideas and to this fantastic platform that you have been providing. So I'm very much delighted to be part of this, and I hope that we all can come to a conclusion that new ideas and new perspectives play an important role for the purpose of this very platform. So thank you very much for having me, and it has been a pleasure to be part of this session. Thank you.
Thank you, Saddam. And actually, that's what we're trying to do through our live conversations. We are exploring more ideas and more vision, and that's the diversity that we want to explore through our platform. So welcome to our 6th Degree of Connection live conversation. It's a great pleasure for you to join, for us that you have joined us. And our today's live conversation will host it together with Serge. Hi, Serge.
Hi everyone. Hello, Sarah. It's a great pleasure that you guys joined us today. By the way, Sarah is from Algeria, so today we have quite an international team. It's almost international roundtable that we have today. So it's really great. So on the platform of International Public Movement Alatra was launched a unique project called Creative Society, and people surveys like this around the world to find out how people envision creative society, such a society where people will actually feel and themselves happy and comfortable and secure. And our today's guests also prove once again that all people in the world are connected and know each other via 6 handshakes. And our today's guests were all invited by Sarah. So basically, we know each other by even less social connections thanks to modern technologies and internet. So, well.
That's very true. We're actually all connected. And this theory had been proven and had been put through practice in all our live conversations. And so I would like to address dear viewers before we start. Please leave us your comments and leave us your questions. At the end of the conversation, we'll choose the most interesting questions to ask to our guests. Exploring ideas is our aim, so please do share your ideas on the chat.
Okay, so let's go ahead. Our today's topic is Act to Impact, and we will get into details which actions lead to real changes in ourselves, in local communities, and as well in society in global perspective. So Groza, I'd like to ask you, you're such an energetic person and are involved in various projects and activities. And I'd like to ask what motivates you and what do you aspire to achieve through your various contributions to society?
Thank you very much for this question. Yeah, so basically, I since young and especially since I entered, yeah, my micro is on, right? Yeah, since I entered at university and discovered like amazing possibilities of contributing to different youth organizations, I started exploring that side. And I became more and more interested and motivated in learning educational background. Mostly that I learned from my the subjects of university. My background is political science and international relations, and I wanted to know how can I could get involved in learning different issues, global challenges. Model United Nations, those kind of debates. How could I get involved, not only from the theoretical point of view, not only from the academic point of view, but also and essentially through the extracurricular activities that I would later involve. So throughout my university journey, I was part of different international youth organizations. I always had this keen interest in being part of big networks. But with a local focus. So like having this global mentality, but being able to apply the knowledge, the skills that I learned throughout my journey in local level. So in Porto, because that's my city. I'm from Portugal, I'm Portuguese, but I live in Porto City, which is a beautiful city, but it's in the north of the country. So during my university degree, for instance, the bachelor's degree in political science and international relations, I was part of, for instance, the Erasmus Student Network, which is a very famous international youth organization, mostly focused on Erasmus students and international students that come to Portugal to study. So I was part of that organization. I was involved in 2 departments. One of them was mostly organizing activities and parties at night, but and it was really funny. But it also gave a lot of work. And the other one was more with a social purpose. So the department was even called Social Erasmus, because the main focus was to plan activities and projects that benefited somehow the local community of Porto, through making activities to raise funds for children, for helping the elderly. So yeah. Then throughout my journey, I became more involved in various international organizations. And what motivates me is really a desire to grow personally, professionally, but also to help my community with the skills and the knowledge that I have. So I think that when you ask somebody what motivates that person to like doing volunteer work, there are many valid reasons. I mean, I think that you cannot choose like one, which is that only one. I mean, people normally have more than one reason to do that work and to be involved in that work. In my personal case, it's my motivation, my passion to be involved in relevant issues. Now we cannot avoid talking about the COVID-19 and the impact it has on the world and on our all communities. So I'm actively involved, for instance, now, I'm part of Kalinka, of course, as Sarah, and I love that organization. And Vlad, if you're seeing, thank you, or other fellows. But I'm also part of others, Youth Opportunities, which is an organization based in Bangladesh, which focus on the promotion of opportunities for youth. And I really like to promote opportunities. For instance, when I was at university, I was like the only one, not the only one, but the one more proactive in trying to create social media groups to announce different kind of opportunities like scholarships for my students. But then that idea never developed much. So then I found Youth Opportunities, and I believe that I was a great fit for that. So currently I announce and advertise different kinds of opportunities, especially for the Portuguese youth on social media channels. I'm also part now. I'm also a selection board interviewer because I really like Atlas Course. Atlas Course is, for instance, a very famous international organization that has fellowships, fully funded fellowships for applicants from all over the world interested in going 1 year fully funded to the United States of America. And currently, I'm a selection board interviewer. This means that I interview applicants that have interviews with me. So, and of course, that I play a crucial role in making some of them go to the United States and have also amazing experiences there. So, particularly in my local community in Porto, besides these organizations, currently I'm also part of a local NGO, a national NGO, but which has focused also in Porto, which is the Serve the City network, which the main purpose is like giving support, psychosocial support, not as a professional because I do not have any expertise in this area, but has a friendship support, you know, to people that are more vulnerable due to the COVID-19 situation, especially during the lockdown period. I'm responsible for like calling a specific person. It can be more people, and giving support, see if the person has particular needs, like in terms of psychosocial needs, and reporting to the competent local authorities of that organization. I'm also involved on another one, which is specifically for going to schools, but now we cannot go to schools, of course, because of the COVID-19. It's a project that I'm part as a volunteer from the Portuguese government focused on youth issues. And we have, of course, a ministry of Portugal that's exclusively dedicated to youth and sports. And this branch is currently promoting a long-term volunteering opportunity in which the main goal is for volunteers to go to schools, like high schools, and talk about the rights, human rights, specifically the rights of youth under the Portuguese law, under the Portuguese constitution, essentially. But now everything is like stand up. One of the most challenging roles that I also assume currently is the fact that I'm the Portuguese youth delegate for the Congress of Local and Regional Authorities of the Council of Europe for the year 2000 and for this year. And this role is very important because of the responsibilities that we assume. I'm currently working with a group of youth delegates from all over Europe, the countries, member states of the Council of Europe, so 47. And I'm working with some of them to develop a collective project, because each one of us has to develop projects, especially regarding like the impact of COVID-19. And I decided to join them because I really like to work in teams, because I already work a lot individually. And so when there is this chance, of course, I accept it. Yeah, what motivates me? Various reasons. A passion, but also a desire to help others, to grow myself personally and professionally, of course. But this need to continuously being involved and feel useful to society.
interesting perspective how you are trying to start from yourself, from your individual responsibility, and then help other people, help your local community to the international community through your various activities, and also trying to create various opportunities for youth. You know, opportunities are very important, especially in our today's society where people will require lots of skills and education. So they really need more of educational opportunities for all of them. Thank you so much, Grasa.
Thank you.
For you, Abdul, actually, when we spoke with you, you've made it clear that mental health is so relevant for you. So why is it so important for you that you have decided to be vocal about it through public speaking?
Sorry, was that a question for me? I didn't understand. Could you repeat?
Of course, for sure. Actually, the question
This
is
for Abdul.
That's for me. That question is for me.
Okay, so I'm sorry.
No issue. No issue.
I got a mixture of voices.
If you all allow me, I could start my answer.
Okay, so Abdul, why is mental health so important for you that you decided to be vocal about it through public speaking?
Yes. Firstly, I would like to introduce myself that I am not only vocal about mental health issues. I am being vocal about my local issues of my countries, my city, and different issues regarding the youth and students and politics of my country. And I feel that as my responsibility. When I have been given and blessed with the blessing of God to speak, then it's my responsibility to speak for those who cannot speak for them. The reason why I decided to talk on mental health issues in this particular session and this particular issue is because nowadays this has become a very much critical topic which has not been talked about, and many people do not tend to focus on these issues, and many of us are suffering from this trauma, this disease, this problem of mental health issues. Many of us are dying each and every day due to this problem, and we cannot convey this to anyone, and we could not talk about this. By making it normal in our society, by talking about it again and again, we can make it a norm, and by making anything normal, we can find solution for it. I feel that we as humans have now become more connected to technologies and less connected to human beings. And humans are less available for humans, and humans are more available for technologies, and they're more busy in their schedule, their work, and we are not able to make proper time for our families, our brothers, our mothers, our sisters, our close ones, our loved ones, due to which many of us feel left out. Many of us remain alone. And at times we need someone to look after us. And at times we need some people who could check on us. But we are not being checked on us because many of us have become so much busy in our daily schedule and our daily life that we are not looking after this problem. We can eradicate these issues in our society by making our society more based on humanitarian basis, more loved for humanity. We can look after each other, we can give time to each other, and through this no one would be left out, no one would feel alone, no one will feel that he has no one to talk to. And if every person can fulfill his responsibility on his behalf, even for his family, then I don't feel that any one of us would be feel left out. Also, there are different issues for some people who do not get satisfaction in life. I feel that one of those issues is that many people don't tend to follow their passion. We have a different passion, we follow a different profession. We have a different liking, we follow a different path. We have a different admiration and inspiration in life, but we don't tend to follow that path because we tend to become confused that many of us will not get the results if we follow our dreams. What can make us more satisfied in life? What can make us more confident in life and can erase many of our mental health and unsatisfaction issues? that if we tend to follow our passion, if we follow our passion, like I am one of example in front of you. In our country, we are underdeveloped state, underdeveloped country from Pakistan, where many people don't tend to follow their passion, or they cannot follow what their passion is, because their passion don't lead them to a stable profession. But I faced similar consequences in my life. I was challenged for not studying law, but I choose law as a study, and I choose law to become a profession in my life, and further on in my future. My parents and my family wanted me to study accounts and chartered accountancy and these type of professions who provide stability to a human being. But I followed my passion, and I'm still speaking on different issues. And I feel that my speaking ability can take me to greatness somewhere in life. That's why I have selected this as my I've selected my passion as my profession for future, and it has helped me a lot. And I've also suffered serious mental health issues, and we tend to suffer those issues due to not being satisfied in life, being attached to some unwanted things in life, buying negativity in life. What we really need to make sure is that we need to stop buying the negativity and start buying the positivity. We need to engage ourselves with ventures which makes us confident, which makes us confident, which makes us feel alive, rather than being stuck to people who make us feel miserable. That is not helping us. That is not helping them. We what we really need to understand is that we have been given this opportunity to live life only once, and if we make a rubbish and a wastage out of this life which we have been given, that then it will lead to nothing than just a waste of opportunity. We need to make the best of this opportunity which we have been given in this life. We should try to follow all our ideal dreams. We should try to live with people who give us happiness, who give us confidence, who give us moral support. And just tell me when I have to finish, because I have a lot to speak. I have a full of my heart is full of things which I want to express. And every time I go on stage on different venues, I express myself. I just feel alive. There are things which makes me feel that I am deprived of some things, deprived of happiness. But every day I fight through them. I fight through all those thoughts and try to become a better person. And I hope you all are understanding me right now, my English and all my thoughts I'm trying to express. And I can see a smile on all of your faces. I want to see this smile on every person's face. I don't want to see people being sad about their life. I don't want to see people being depressed, being mentally unhealthy, being very much in anxiety. I want to see the kind of happiness Sarah is having on his face, Sergey from Dubai is having on his face. And I want people to make the best out of the life they have been given. And for that purpose, I try to engage myself with my friends, with people I don't even know, and strangers. I try to talk to them, try to sort out their issues, try to help them. And I don't put these things on public, but I'm expressing it right now just to give some people the meaning of life. The meaning of life is to help others. You cannot live a life full of satisfaction being alone. You need to help others and make others realize. I'm just about to finish. I think Sarah is trying to wants me to stop. I'm just about to finish. Do I have to stop? Please tell me if I have to stop.
No, you may continue. I'm enjoying your awareness creation about mental issues and about how it is so important to be grateful and confident. Yeah, go ahead, please.
Yes. So many of the times, people suffering from these issues don't tend to make the best out of their life. They tend to be scared, tend to be in a shelter for the rest of their life. And for the rest of their life, they are not able to express themselves like eagles, like birds, fly. So we need to understand that. Yes.
What advice can you give to people? Like, for example, you already spoke like a lot of good things that people can do. But if, for example, we would summarize for people, like, for example, 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe you can share your experience, how you overcame in your life this mental difficulties, this hard times.
Eu já falo com ele. Sim, eu já lhe...
So maybe you can share with us some. Maybe you can share with us some advice for people, like how they can truly appreciate their life and make most of it, and how they can overcome these hardships. Maybe you can share your experience, how you made it possible in your life.
Yes. I heard your question, Sergi. And any of you have any other questions, so they can ask me. I will answer them in a collaborative manner. But right now, I think I am answering Sergi. Sarah, do you have any question?
No, actually, what I would like to know from you, Abdul, is what is your process to go through and to challenge mental issues and to really like win this fight with mental issues? Like, give us a process, step 1, step 2, step 3, so our viewers will learn about them and have more, an organized and structured steps in order to get over mental issues.
Yes. Okay. I'm telling you some of the core points. I cannot talk about all of it because we have short time, but I am telling you the core points. Firstly, there are different reasons for mental health issues. We need to understand. Some people are mentally unsatisfied due to some relations. Some people are mentally unsatisfied due to their love lives. Some people are mentally unsatisfied due to not able to follow their dreams, and they are not able to get the self-actualization point in their life. So there can be different positions where you are mentally unsatisfied and where those positions can lead you towards a trauma, anxiety, a depression. What we really need to understand is we should be brave enough to make decisions for our life. We should make the decisions for our life ourselves. Many people in the world do not make the best of the most important of their decisions for themselves. I think if you want to follow a profession, a passion, a path, a dream, you should be brave enough to put aside all the risk of that and follow your dream, follow your path, and make sure that you are able to satisfy your heart, that you have achieved, you have followed the path you wanted. If there are mental health issues regarding some relation, you need to understand that there can be a point where you have to leave someone just to make betterment for them and betterment for yourself. Being in toxic, being in a problematic area, being involved in a relation or an activity which is disturbing you continuously, which is giving you negativity, meeting people who are making you feel underprivileged, who are making you feel inferior, who are basically hurting your confidence, is not which is giving you what you need really. You need to understand that you need to go in the direction which is giving you confidence, which is giving you backing, which is giving you the support you need to fly in life. And we only fly when we fall.
I'm very sorry.
We only fly when we fall.
We're really short of time, and thank you very much for sharing. That's very inspiring. I think a lot of our viewers, they can take a lot of this good advice and use them in their practice in life to really appreciate this gift, as it was said.
I can see Sarah very much happy.
Thank you very much, Abdul. So, Hakim.
I think she have coped up well from the mental health issues.
Hakim, I'd like to address you as well. So, can you please share with us what did you do during your field program with Rory Stewart?
Much. I think, as you said, it's a creative society, so we must focus more on being creative and constructively being more creative. I think it is extremely important that we hear people, and the most important thing is tolerance, and that's what we lack. The important thing is that we tolerate other people's views, we tolerate other people's perspectives, and that's when you come together in work. Today, the biggest thing in front of us is that we are on one platform from Portugal, from Pakistan, from Algeria, from Dubai, and from United Kingdom. The main issue is that we tolerate each other's perspective, we tolerate each other's views, and that's very important. So in fact, the things that has been discussed by Abdul Ahad in Grasa, that these things has to be addressed. But one of the most fundamental thing that we are missing today is that these are the issue. What has caused these issues? That is the most important thing. Youth is being mentally stressed due to unemployment, due to lack of education. And when you say that follow your passions, you have to have a track. You have to have some sort of opportunities to follow that. And that's what we don't have. So for that reason, we have to provide a platform, and then we can convince people to follow your passion. When you don't have anything, if you don't have stairs, how can you build? How can you go ahead? If you don't have a car, how can you travel? If you don't have airplane, how can you fly from one country to another country? The most fundamental thing is that we are being very romantic in our thoughts. We are not working on the ground, but we are more focused on theory. So for that reason, whoever is watching this session right now, you need to be more realistic in your life. You can't just think that I'm going to be David Beckham in 2 days or 3 days. You have to go through that. You have to realize the ground realities. You have to actually think, stand in front of mirror, consider your family, consider your mother, consider your father. What are they going to through? If your patient is more important than your father and mother or their health. So for that reason, I'm saying most of us, I'm not going to do my introduction because as you said in the beginning that I work with the International Development Secretary, Rory Stewart. And during this time when I used to knock out the doors and people used to come out, they have these issues. But what they really realized and what they were really doing is they were doing things on the ground. And for that reason, I and my other friends formed our organization, Youth Politics Afghanistan. And why did we do that? For a very small thing, because most of the youth organization comes up and they want to say, we want to change the world, we want to do, this is impossible. You have to start from the very small thing. What we started from internships and work experience in Afghan ministries, in Afghan businesses. Because most of the people, you might all be students, you can't get a job because you don't have work experience.
Yeah.
You can't get a job because you don't have an internship. And for that being reason, most of the students who apply for the jobs, they're not being given the preference because they don't have, so this work experience is not falling from the sky. You have to give them an opportunity. Yeah. And if the education level is not very high, then the Ministry of Education has to hire professional people. Work on it. And that's the reason we make such a big picture that we cannot control. And today when I come here and I want you to speak to you people, is not just for the viewers of Creative Society, but it is a message for you all that if you want to work and you're passionate about youth, please start from, we should start like this.
Yeah.
Not like this.
Yeah.
Because when you start like this, if we start like this, we can grow. So it's like a carrot, we grow. But the problem is, and I have seen a lot of organizations here in United Kingdom, also in Pakistan, also in Afghanistan, also in Bangladesh, the organization starts from nowhere. There's no constructive way. They start from such a big idea, and then it's possible to bring it down and work on it. So what I'm trying to say is that if you're passionate about youth development, if you're passionate about Creative Society, you need to give them small tasks. I would definitely encourage everyone to settle down. If there is a problem with Algeria or Somalia, ask these youth who are studying politics and international relations, do a patching. How can we develop international diplomacy with Somalia? How we can do this digitally, and they can put up their ideas. And through that ideas, you can present that to the embassies, and that's where creativity comes up. If you don't give them an opportunity of creativity, how will the creativity come in? So give them an opportunity, ask them, no matter how immature, how ill-qualified they are, but they might have a very good idea. So that's my idea. The fundamental aspect I'm addressing is that we need to realize the ground realities. We need to work on it. People who don't have a penny in the house, how he can be a footballer, how he can be a lawyer. We are not only talking about the West. The people in the South Asia are suffering, they're starving. How can we ask them to become world leaders in that, in this, when they don't have food in their house?
Yeah, true.
So we need to realize the ground realities. If you want to grow up, and if you're targeting international community, then you have to realize what the actual problem is, how we can help them. This is the biggest creativity that you are doing right now. We are focusing, we are getting reach to different people. But what you can do is that to bring other students, and they teach online to the students who don't have opportunities in Pakistan, in Afghanistan, in Bangladesh, and that is where creative society is all about. Putting your reach to different level. So on that reason, I don't want to speak a lot, but I just want to be fundamentally and more precisely focus on this thing, that we need to start from small things and then it can grow. So thank you very much for having me.
Thank you so much, Hakim. Actually, what you had spoken is so deep. Like, wow, that resonates a lot with me. Growth is a process, and we start small and then we start growing. We go step by step. Like, we can't from a day to another become David Beckham, but we can from day to another shape our path and just make a first step and then second step and then etc. until reaching our goal. No, thank you so much. And actually, we would like to
Thank you, Hakim. Just one moment. I wanted to add also one thing. What you said is completely right. So that's basically what we're doing in ALLATRA International Public Movement. Once we realize that there is something not right with this consumerism model, when some people have a lot of things and other people lack of even clear water and starve from hunger. So that's why we launching this project to find out people live in a creative society, to make something better for their kids, for their families, so to achieve in reality a better society to live in. Then the next step, what we can do is we can unite with the specialists in different fields.
Yeah, Sergi, I want you to put a very, very short note on this. As I said, I played football on regional level. The place where Abdul Ahad is living, Karachi, Lahore, Islamabad, Rawalpindi, I played for Beacon House School System, and my dream was to be a professional footballer. But when I realized that, okay, if I want to be a professional footballer or do these all things, I'm being missed out so many things. My family doesn't want this. So I compromised on my passion for a better good. So I did it for the bigger picture, that my family can live in peace and they're more happy. So we have to realize that we have to do something for a bigger picture. I'm not saying do compromise on your passions, but do consider other things which are more important, such as your family that can give you good life. They have support you financially, they support you morally. So these are the things that you have to consider while you chasing your passion. So because these quotes on Google, these quotes on social media, they are so romantic, they're not realistic. You don't know what these persons are going through. So we have to be more realistic in our approach. Thank you, Sergi.
Thanks, Hakim. Okay.
If we just have few minutes, can I add something to what my brother Saddam just said right now?
If it's in positive perspective, then go ahead.
Yes, my brother Saddam just said that these quotes on social media are romantic, are not realistic. And the school you mentioned, Biganam school system, I have studied from the same school and same college. I would just like to add one thing, that there are some professions which do not provide you the financial stability, maybe what you have wished for or what your family expects from you. But I personally feel that choosing a professional profession just for the basis of financial stability and some financial goals, I don't think will make everyone happy, because everyone in life do not get happiness from financial stability. People tend to get satisfaction and happiness from what they really want to do in life. It can be considered as an option while you are thinking about your parents or your family. But I think what you are really good in and what you are best in, you should be opting for that. And I think the best you know can make you money as well, can bring you various opportunities as well. We need
I
to
agree.
think in this way. We need to take some fearless decisions in life, because without taking risks, without taking fearless decisions in life, we cannot achieve anything. So to achieve big, we have to put big stakes on risk. And without putting big stakes on risk, I don't think that we can achieve big things.
I think it's such a broad topic and we have short of time. So I would leave it to Sarah and Sergi to continue.
What I would say about this is that what Abdul had said do not contradict with what Hakim had said, because you have to chase big dreams, but in order to reach those big dreams, it is growth, is process.
Exactly.
You have to go through a process. So there is like the before and once you reach to your goal and the after, and they're all a process. Thank you so much for all of these interesting conversations. They had
I'm very much thankful to you all and very much glad for being part of this, and very much glad to listen to Saddam, Sarah, and everyone. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Abdul. We have other questions for you as well, so we hadn't finished the conversation.
The time hasn't finished.
Yeah,
I thought the time has finished.
We're going to talk about.
Let's proceed because we were going a bit off topic. Let's then, if the discussion is going in this way, let's now for a moment try to put aside the negativity, put aside COVID and all this, pardon my language, crap. Let's now try to think constructively. What can we do to improve the situation? Because the situation we all are in now, only people live on this planet. So there is a very high chance that since we live in such conditions, that it means either by us these conditions were created or were created by our silent agreement. So what I want to propose, let's say Grasa, let's try to think constructively from your experience, like how can look a creative society, like in practice, not just like, to fantasize about it, but in practice, like from your practical experience, what do you think can be done so that what can we do today so that tomorrow our kids, so how would such a society look like? Can you please describe?
Thank you for this question as well. Could you just phrase a little bit the question was, what can we do today so we can
what can we do to reach creative society? What can we do to reach creative society, a society of happy people and secure people, and where people live prosperously?
Okay, I think that now I understood better the question. I think that will depend a lot on what the kind of many factors. Like firstly, it depends, of course, on the willingness of the individual. So individual will is I think 90% of the answer that can be. So like the same way that we cannot force anybody to like contribute positively to society, we can also not impose them what they should do. So I think it depends a lot on the person, on their willingness to contribute. But also on the how do I say, the concrete context of our community. So as my colleague said very well in his speech about that most of the times when we think of this idea of helping the others and helping our community, it's important that we are aware that we have limitations as humans, and we cannot like even if our willingness to help is very big and broad, we only have capacity, if we have that capacity, to help at the local level, to help at the community level. So yeah, like this, that enables us to grow our help and to grow to shorten the needs of the community in terms of providing what is necessary. So I think that volunteering work is one of the best ways anybody can invest in being useful for the society, because all of us should have our own jobs. So some are students, some are still studying, but when you finish your studies, you are supposed to get a job, to get a traineeship, and we have to think that normally jobs require us full-time, so at least like 8 hours per day. So if you manage to after the end of your day, being useful to your community in any level, like even making a call to a person that is feeling lonely is a great way to help. You are already helping, but I don't want to have like this idea of trying to help because you feel pity of those persons. You should help because you feel good with yourself, doing good actions, doing good deeds. This is particularly my case, and I think that we should not. Sometimes we have this idea of thinking that the others are unable to take care of themselves, and no, they are able to take care of themselves. I personally have this idea that is very much talked about. Do not give the others the fish, but teach them to fish. And I think this is precisely the method, the approach that we should always have in our life. So I think we shouldn't have like these ideas that we are here to be the leaders and we are here to solve the great problems of the world, because that does not really depend on the individual effort of a particular person. So it's more a collective effort. So if every one of us is able to move like just a piece, so like to make our local community, it can be even our neighborhood, a better place, we are already helping. And that's the way we should help, because we cannot my approach is like bottom up, not top down. So we cannot be like the true leaders that are really recognized by super powerful organizations. I think that this idea, unless you give proofs that you have helped through some kind of project, to some kind of innovation that really was useful, I don't know, there are, I'm particularly interested, of course, in the Sustainable Development Goals, but I'm not interested in all of them. Although I have more particular, I'm aware of all of them. I cannot say that I have interest on all of them equally, because that's not true. I mean, we always have some areas in which we feel that we are more oriented, in which we feel that there is a more acute need. So we should first know ourselves better, know what are our interests, know what motivates us, and in order to them, we should then try to seek ways in which we can grow personally and professionally, but also being able to help our community concretely through examples, through practices, and especially through being consistent. Because my personal point of view, volunteering is not like, for instance, you have a free weekend and you decide that on that weekend you don't have anything to do, so I'm going to volunteer, and next weekend I have a party, so on that weekend I will not. Being consistent is like the key of everything that you do.
Thank you very much, Grasa. I'm very sorry, but we are short of time. We also have active commenters in our chat, Musa Anwari and Sami Rehman Siki. They are also asking similar questions, and I think Hakim can answer that as well. Like, can you please describe from your experience in life what steps can be done and how do you envision creative society that we can improve for better?
Well, very critical question, and whoever asked is very concerned about his future. But it's an important question to address. I will keep it short because we are having way less time. Thank you for the question, but yes, what my vision and how we can grow is to take small steps, approach small things, work on your ideas, and how do you work on your idea is very important. You have to discuss your ideas with other people. Don't be very conserved in your ideas. Work on it realistically and think whether I can do this or not. If you can't do it, just talk with someone. Is it realistically possible or not? Do not waste time on the things that you think will not bring any result. One more important thing that I believe that you have enormous potential, but all you need is advice. In the thing which I really evidence or I witness is that most of the people in our age have got the problem. They think they did politics or international or economics or business degree, and they think that they can change the world. You are still that immature as you were before your degree. So sit down with experienced people, sit down with politicians, sit down with business people and ask them their ideas. It's never a shame to ask somebody who is younger than you, but he's more talented than you. Things that you have started, you shouldn't leave it at the mid. Take it to that level. You will have a lot of mishaps. When I opened the youth politics organization, 50 people joined. When they had a meeting, 40 people left and 10 people remained. But I didn't say I'm not going to go ahead with it. Now Youth Politics Afghanistan is talking with Pentagon advisors, Obama and President Bush advisors. We had last week a session. So what I'm trying to say, everything is possible, but all you need to do is to take small steps, not big steps. Because when you make a small step, even if you did it wrong, you can control it. But if you take very big step and you made a mistake, then it's impossible to control. Yeah. So take small steps. Time is the key. Give more time to your things. Always one last advice I would give to everyone who is watching this. Whenever you do something, from the age 16 till the age 30, I'm 24 right now, at least plan ahead 2 years. Yeah. 2 years ahead. Plan, I'm going to do this master's, for this organization that I opened in 2019, December, I believe, I said it will be operational in 2021, but it got operated in 2020. So it's a good news for me. It motivates me. I give 2 years, but it started 1 year ahead of that time. So 2 years plan, take small steps. Even if you make a mistake, you can control it. Don't take big steps that you can't control. Thank you.
Thank you so much. And we would like to explore further in details the foundations of creative society.
1 second, Sarah. Maybe Abdul can also answer the same question. But I'm afraid that we will not have a lot of time for foundations. We will
I only need 2 minutes.
Mention
to conclude my thoughts.
So everyone will be able to explore the foundations on Allatra Unite's website. But let's just give the floor to Abdul so he can also express his vision of creative society. I'm sure that he has something to say to us. Yes, please,
Should
Abdul.
I speak?
The floor is yours.
Can I speak?
Yes,
For
yes.
sure.
How do you see the creative society from your
Yes,
point of
I
view?
would
What can
just
be done?
I would just take forward the thoughts Saddam Hakim just expressed, and I feel that it was very much matured. But would I would conclude with the thoughts that there can be instances in life where we all are humans. We will make mistakes. We can make mistakes in choosing profession. We can make mistakes while choosing a life partner. We can make mistakes while building new relationships. We can make mistakes in different aspects of life while we are in our teenage and from 16 to 25 or 30. And it is a good option to sit with mature and experienced people so we can get guidance. But what we really need to understand and towards the success of life, the best of recipe is to help self-belief. If you are going to begin a task or you are thinking of going towards a particular path, then the first thing which you need to make sure is that you should have the self-belief in yourself. If your heart, if your mind does not support what you think, then I don't think anyone in life can counsel you and or can teach you or can explain you to become a better person or to achieve a dream if your mind does not support you. The first thing which you need to make sure is that your heart, your mind should be with yourself or should be connected to your soul when you are about to follow something or when you are about to act on something. And if your mind and if your heart is with you, I think you will make the best decisions in life. But if your mind and your heart is not with you, you will always remain confused in life in between the process or when you are about to start, when you are about to finish, you will not feel the satisfaction. Your heart and mind should always be satisfied and connected to your soul while you are trying to act or follow a path. And that can make you mentally stable, satisfied, and a confident person. Even if you make mistakes, then it will not harm you or hurt you that much when you will make mistake as a confused person, as an unconfident person. I would conclude with this. Thank you so much
Thank you
for
so
having me
much.
in this panel. And it was great interacting thoughts with all of you. I can
Thank
see
you.
a smile
Thank
with
you.
all of
It
your
was a
faces.
really enriching conversation. We're actually running out of time, so I'm going to just give you what are the 8 foundations of creative society so you can know about them, and then you may explore them on our website, alatraunites.com. So, the 8 foundations of creative society, we have human life, human freedom, human safety, transparency and openness of information for all, the creative ideology, development of personality, justice and equality, and sovereign in society. So these are the 8 foundations that are in regard of humanity is one big family according to what creative society stands for. Thank you so much for this very enriching conversation. And please, dear viewers, if you would like to participate in our live conversations, just send us just go to our website, alatraunites.com, and you only have to fill a short form. You go and click on the button join, and then you will have to fill a very short form and while choosing the language that you speak that you can understand, and you click on the red button join. And for further details about creative society, please visit our website alatraunites.com, and please share with us your ideas about creative society. It's very important to have the maximum of idea and explore other areas in order to build creative society as fast as possible. Thank you.
Thank
Thank you.
you very much, everyone. It was a
Yeah.
great conversation. I think we could continue like this all night because I'm sure with your experience, guys, with your backgrounds, you have much, much more to say and share. And we just briefly touched this topic of creative society, but I'm sure we can discuss this further. And the final question that we always ask all our guests. So, would you like to live in a creative society where all people live normally, secure, and happy? Hakeem, Abdul, Grasa, would you like to live in creative society?
Yes.
Yeah. Could you just repeat the question, because I didn't understand very well? To be part,
would you like to live in a creative society and be part of creative society?
Yeah, definitely.
What about you, Abdul?
Yes, I would like to be part of a creative society, but more I would like to be part of a satisfied society.
Thank you very much, everyone. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Sarah. And please, guys, invite your friends, Abdul, Grasa, Hakim. If you have anyone who is interested to maybe deeply
I am interested to be a part of this program. I am interested to be a part of this program.
Thank you very much, and I hope that everyone enjoyed. Thank you for having me, and have a very nice time. Take care.
Goodbye. Thank you very much, everyone.
Thank you very much.
See you soon on Alatra TV Middle East again. Bye-bye.
It was a